on this computer. All right. All right. Hi, everyone. It's Yoli from Cancer Kinship here with our amazing fashion show model, Isabelle Bart, who is also one of Cancer Kinship's Executive Advisory Council members. So thank you, Isabelle, for being on here with me today. What is today?
Today's fashion show. I'm excited.
Yay! I'm excited and super nervous about the technology. So hopefully things work out today, but I truly am excited. And what makes it even more exciting for me, aside from this being a fun event, is that we're bringing the community together. So, and from various sectors, like we have all kinds of folks joining us today. So it's going to be a fun day. So Isabelle, you are a fashion show model, and you jumped right in from the very beginning when I initially asked you to join. Do you want to share a little bit about what the experience was like doing a virtual fashion show?
Sure. Well, I like to make fun of myself, so that really helped. I don't take myself very seriously, and I figured that would be a fun experience. I've never done a real fashion show either, so this was my first time doing a fashion show. And you know, virtually, it's definitely quite an experience.
Sure.
I think it's a little bit intimidating from when I'm thinking about performing. When I was, you know, in high school, I was doing play and everything. And it's nice to have an audience when you perform. So the virtual fashion show is what's a little tricky is, you know, you don't have the audience right there with you, right? So it's,
right.
You don't feel that interaction. But it's, I think it's also a way to play with the camera differently and maybe pretend you're acting a little bit. So that has a kind of a cool thing. And you can always have more takes. So if something is not right, there's no, you know, you can start again and do it again.
Well, you had some really good takes. I really enjoyed some of the behind the scenes footage that you filmed, like in your closet. That was super fun. And then your makeup shots were really fun too. And then what I absolutely loved was a clip that you sent, and it was you doing some headstands out at the beach.
Yeah, so this year I think some of my friends are like over my headstand stuff, but I like the story behind the headstand because so I've practiced yoga for many years. When I was a child, I was doing dance, but I was never very flexible. I'm a fairly tall, and you know, so when I started yoga as an adult, I was doing it to stretch, you know, to become stronger. And little by little, I was like, oh, I want to challenge myself. I want to start being able to do this pose and this one. And I started really over the years seeing how I progressed. The headstand was the one pose that I'm like, I may never be able to do it, but I might. And, you know, we'll see. We'll see. And so in 2019, I never make New Year's resolutions usually, but for some reason, January 1st, 2019, I'm thinking, what would I want to do this year? You know, and I'm like, a headstand.
Dang it, I'm going to do that headstand.
I practiced, I try regularly and stuff. And I was like, you know, finding the excuse of my body is not made for it or whatever, you know, but I still believe, you know, I had faith. And this year, same thing. I'm like, maybe this year, 2020, I'll be able to do a headstand. And because of COVID, I started working from home like most people, which one of the part that I enjoyed most in that is my morning routine was changing. And I really like it because when I first wake up, I usually do breathing and exercises, meditation. And I finish after my meditation, I do a few core exercises, stretching. And so what I started doing was practicing the headstand again every day. And I think it was in May, right after I had my lumpectomy surgery, I started being able to hold it. I'm like, this is it. So it was actually interesting because I was finally able to make it happen in the midst of my cancer treatment as well. So really that was
that
like
made it even a little bit more special,
yeah,
right?
beautiful kind of memory too of saying, oh my gosh, now I can do a headstand. And in spite of having cancer, it happened at that time. So that's why I was so proud. And I'm like, I got to do my headstands. And I don't know, maybe for me, this is always a proof of like being strong and, you know, stable maybe in holding it. And
Yes.
that was something that was so dear to my heart.
Yes. You're grounded, but by your head.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited for the show tonight. There are 8 models that are participating in tonight's show. Isabelle, you being one of them, and the clips that were sent over our way were so stinking cute and so fun. You guys really did ham it up for the camera. One thing that I really loved about your videos is that you engaged your family. So do you want to talk a little bit about how your family was involved with some of the filming or maybe even practicing?
Yeah, my daughter got really into it. She attended a lot of our calls where we were discussing outfits, accessories, all that stuff. And she helped me select some of the outfits. And the day that we filmed, they wanted to definitely be around. And they're always, you know, very intrigued by what the adults around them are doing. And they were helping. And, you know, my son is a huge electronic fan. So anything that was involving a camera or a computer, or he can always, you know, help with support and figure out if something is working or not working, or make it work. So they kind of had their different, you know, part to play. And we, you know, and it was fun. And I think for me, you know, having my kids involved throughout my journey was very key. And I have to say, because I was diagnosed with early stage breast cancer, and it was never extreme, my life wasn't really at threat. So I really wanted them involved in that journey to show them that, you know, even if something really bad happened in your life, you can overcome it. And, you know, and yes, we're all maybe scared at some point and we don't know what's next, but it's important for me to teach them resilience as much as I can, because
Absolutely.
you know, things happen in our lives. And it was an opportunity for me going through cancer, and then seeing the beauty, you know, the nice part of it, like how we can help the community and other patients and survivors thrive. So I think they were really excited to be a part of that.
And how old are your littles?
10 and 12.
Yeah, they're adorable and super helpful, especially during the filming. That was awesome. I do want to circle back to what you said about showing your children or teaching them about resiliency. Having lost my own mom when I was 10 years old and seeing her go through cancer from like the age of 7 to 10 until she passed, you know, kids really do pay attention. Like the way she reacted and responded to her cancer diagnosis, and knowing that she wasn't going to make it, but still it didn't affect her character. And in fact, it made her love her family and her friends that much more. Like I was watching, I was paying attention, and that resonated with me so much that when I was diagnosed, unfortunately, I wanted to be just like her. I didn't want my faith to be unshakable. I wanted to love on my family as much as I could, and really just be a source of inspiration for anyone else that is struggling, because cancer is hard. And not even just cancer, life is hard. Like right now during a pandemic, there are so many people struggling. And when early during the initial first wave of coronavirus, I was thinking, you know, cancer patients have gone through one of the darkest days ever when they hear the words "you have cancer," and then they power through. In most cases, they go through and have the treatment, and they just kind of power through, and then hopefully they're on their path to healing. But the fact that they got up and kept going is a source of inspiration for anyone else that may be struggling, not just with cancer, but in life.
Yes, and I, you know, a thought about your mom, you know, and as a mom, I think what I really felt so grateful for was that, again, my life wasn't at threat directly. And I really, it would have been a whole different level emotionally to, you know, deal with if I thought that maybe I would not be around, especially for my children. So I do, I don't know exactly what it is to feel that way because I wasn't fully in that situation, but just thinking about it at times, because still I had cancer in my body, was just, I think the most terrifying thought was what if I had to leave my children, because I would die from cancer. That was like the one thought that I'm so glad I didn't have to contemplate much closer.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about an event like this is that it gives an opportunity for your loved ones to see you in a different light. Never, probably 3 months ago, you would have never thought that you'd be walking down a virtual runway and being a part of this event. So that's the exciting part for me, is also giving the opportunity for cancer survivors to feel empowered, to celebrate life. And I'm excited for tonight. So
yes, I have some good friends and relatives calling from across the globe, from Europe. So
yes.
international. It will be fun. It will be a party everywhere.
Awesome. I'm excited. Okay, technology, please don't fail me. I really am nervous about that. But you know what? It's going to work. It's going to work out. We're going to have a good time. So thank you, Isabelle, for hopping on here and chatting with me. You look great already. It's not even fashion show time yet. It's not showtime, but you look great. And you're wearing those cute little earrings that you picked out during our accessory shopping day.
Yes, I'm very pink today. And yeah, I'm kind of celebrating all this. And thank you, Yoli, for leading that effort. And I think it's a beautiful tribute to patient survivors, and a reminder for all of us that, there are a lot of people who need help, and, we're here for them. And thank you again for making that happen.
Awesome. Well, we'll end with that. Thank you, Isabelle. And we'll see you guys tonight. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.